Public Maharan, the Provisional Government of the Irish Republic, to the people of Ireland. Irish men and Irish women, in the name of God and of the dead generations from which she receives her old tradition of nationhood, Ireland, through us, summons her children to her flag and strikes for her freedom. Having organised and trained her manhood through her secret revolutionary organisation, the Irish Republican Brotherhood, and through her open military organisations, the Irish Volunteers and the Irish Citizen Army, having patiently perfected her discipline, having resolutely waited for the right moment to reveal itself, she now seizes that moment, and supported by her exiled children in America and by gallant allies in Europe, but relying in the first on her own strength, she strikes in full confidence of victory. We declare the right of the people of Ireland to the ownership of Ireland and to the unfettered control of Irish destinies, to be sovereign and indefeasible. The long usurpation of that right by a foreign people and government has not extinguished the right, nor can it ever be extinguished, except by the destruction of the Irish people. In every generation, the Irish people have asserted their rights to national freedom and sovereignty. 6 times during the past 300 years, they have asserted it to arms. Standing on that fundamental right, and again asserting it in arms in the face of the world, we hereby proclaim the Irish Republic as a sovereign, independent state. And we pledge our lives, and the lives of our comrades in arms, to the cause of its freedom, of its welfare, and of its exaltation among the nations. The Irish Republic is entitled to, and hereby claims the allegiance of every Irish man and Irish woman. The Republic guarantees religious and civil liberty, equal rights and equal opportunities to all its citizens, and declares its resolve to pursue the happiness and prosperity of the whole nation, cherishing all the children of the nation equally, and oblivious of the differences carefully fostered by an alien government which have divided a minority from the majority in the past. Until our arms have brought the opportune moment for the establishment of a permanent national government, representative of the whole people of Ireland and elected by the suffrages of all her men and women, the Provisional Government, hereby constituted, will administer the civil and military affairs of the Republic in trust for the people. We place the cause of the Irish Republic under the protection of the Most High God, whose blessing we invoke upon our arms. And we pray that no one who serves that cause will dishonour it by cowardice, inhumanity or rapine. In this supreme hour, the Irish nation must, by its valour and discipline, and by the readiness of its children to sacrifice themselves for the common good, prove itself worthy of the august destiny to which it is called. Signed on behalf of the Provisional Government, Thomas J. Clark, Sean McDiarmid, Thomas McDonough, P.H. Pearce, Eamon Gant, James Connolly, Joseph Plunkett.
President of The I.R.B, el fraternal Republican Brotherhood, I.R.B.
James Stevens, who founded the Irish Republican Brotherhood, and John O'Mahony, 16 Lombard Street and in Dublin in New York. But it's so important that you're told the truth of what's happening. You're not being told the truth. First of all, to understand 1916, we bought Bones Hotel, which is just here. And those tunnels that Barton has opened were fighting for 53 years. If they could have crossed there, that street, and gone down those tunnels, they would have escaped. They got to all the same houses. But when Sir Edward Carson founded the Ulster Volunteers and in 1912, in 1913, they became the Ulster Volunteers. They became the UVF Army. And Guinness's gave 100,000, Lord Rothschild gave 100,000, and Rudyard Kipling gave 50,000 to buy those top-class German guns and colluded with the British. And as a consequence, the Irish Republican Brotherhood, the Supreme Council, they founded the Irish Volunteers and the Irish Citizens Army as a defence force. And in 1913, that's when they were founded here. And you know, it's so important to know that's treason. And Sir Roger Casement, they hung Sir Roger Casement for buying those guns for here. And yet Guinnesses and Lord Rothschild, they got all these wonderful bounties and everything else. But if they had brought down those tunnels, and you wouldn't have had 1916 as we have it today. And it was, they brought the flag up and down those tunnels. It's never been captured. And it was ratified by the will of all the people from Vaughan's Hotel in the 1918 32 county election. And that's what's so important. The Crown of England is royalty. It is not sovereignty. The British government don't have a sovereign government. They have a royal government and royal courts of justice. But that's not sovereignty. And that's why de Gaulle would not allow them to join the EEC at the time, because they didn't have a sovereign government. They rely on our harp, 1155, for their sovereignty. And it's time all that came out. When the Queen laid the wreath here at Vaughan's Hotel, that was predicated on a Truth Commission coming out. That has been scrapped by both the British and Irish government. They don't want you to know the truth of what happens. But it's so important that those people, and they went out here 100 years ago, you know, to freedom for you. You know, the Sovereign Constitution and the Proclamation, they're the foundation documents of the state, the Sovereign Republic of Eire. And the next step is the next 3 years is to set up that sovereign government. And that's what we bought Vaughan's Hotel for. And that's where the 32 county election of 1918. It was Diarmaid Lynch that brought that tricolour flag down under those tunnels and up to Vaughan's Hotel. And it was ratified in that 1918 32 county election by the will of all the citizens of the 32 counties. Dáil Éireann has never sat in Leinster House. It's the Royal Dáil and the Royal Oireachtas. And David Cameron said that the British people are sovereign citizens and will vote to come out of the Europe. That is a blatant lie. The British people are subjects to the Crown. You can't be a sovereign citizen and a subject to the Crown at the same time. So, you know, it's so important that they are using our sovereignty of the 21st of January 1919, and that's where they're getting it from. The harp is the covenant between God and man with all the information and knowledge for his planet Earth and our civilization. They're the harp signs, and when you put the two together you have the triangle. And it's all about your 5 senses and how you look at planet Earth, and all about the technology to use a better society. That's what we have. But the first 4 strings are earth, air, fire and water, man's intellect, reason and his 5 senses. But anyway, I'm not going to go on. If you want to know all about the harp and that, the Irish Republican Brotherhood have put that up on a website, and it's billymcguire.com, or Irish Republican Brotherhood. And every child should know the difference. You should know what's on your passport and your title deeds. It's truth, knowledge and information. And I would thank you very much today. For 100 years we're still here. They can't say we've been not invited to one commemoration by the provisional government. Even this morning, when we were laying our wreath at the GPO, we were just ignored.